Good morning from beautiful Colorado. I am once again on the road, and after having spent a bit of time in the Rocky Mountain range, I am now moving on to another beautiful mountain range, the San Juan Mountains. I could not leave Colorado without visiting the San Juans, so that is what I'll be doing for the next several days. Well, I'd say that this is a pretty epic spot to call home for probably about the next week. I am situated between Silverton and Ouray, Colorado, so this is going to be a great base camp to explore both of those areas and some of the surrounding areas. It is absolutely stunning. This is a 5-star campsite. I camped here last year and I was really keeping my fingers crossed that it was going to be available, and thankfully it was. I'm along this beautiful creek. It is just so nice. The weather is supposed to change in the next couple of days. It might rain a little bit. So I think that this afternoon, while it's really pretty, we will go into Silverton and check out the town a little bit. I did show you a little bit of the $1 Million Highway on the way in. That's just a sneak peek because I'll be showing you a lot more of that later. Right now, let's head into Silverton.
The historic town of Silverton is located in a remote part of the western San Juan Mountains, a range of the Rocky Mountains. The first mining claims were made in the mountains above Silverton in 1860, near the end of the Colorado Gold Rush and when the land was still controlled by the Ute Indians. Silverton is well known because of the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad, a former mine train that is now a National Historic Landmark. Silverton's last operating mine closed in 1992, and the community now depends primarily on tourism and government remediation and preservation projects.
The Shady Lady Restaurant. Love it.
In May 1883, a grand jury brought 117 indictments against lewd women on notorious Blair Street. Although fines were levied, gambling and prostitution were generally accepted as long as the practice did not migrate into the more respectable sections of town. I try to visit the local barista in most of the small towns that I visit because if you know me, you know I love my coffee. On the way back to camp, I noticed a cascade in the distance and decided to check it out.
It has been an awesome day. I feel like I am in heaven on earth. I really enjoyed the town of Silverton, not only because of the history, but it just had a really great vibe. It was very charming. I think I liked it better than Aspen, to be honest. It was much more my speed. After exploring town all day, I think I'll make something very simple for dinner tonight. Usually, after a busy day, I just like to make something simple and not cook up a whole big meal. So I'm just going to be making some quick tortellini pasta with some Parmesan cheese and olive oil and a Caesar salad. Super quick, super easy, and it's about my speed right now. This is dinner tonight. Cheesy pillows of goodness. Just going to pour a little olive oil. Ooh, steaming up the camera. Dinner was simple yet satisfying. I have a full belly, I'm content, I'm relaxed, and I think I'm going to call it a night. I will check in with you all in the morning when we do another day of exploring Silverton. See you in the morning. Good night. Good morning from my damp camp. It rained a bit overnight, so it's a little bit wet and soggy out there. However, it's beautiful. I love the way the clouds are hanging on the mountains. It makes it very atmospheric and just really cool. It looks like the sun is trying to break through, so I think it's going to be a beautiful day. The initial plan for today was to do a hike in the Silverton area. However, I happened to meet a neighbor here at camp who is also a subscriber of the channel and has invited me on a Jeep trail or OHV trail here in the Silverton area called Corkscrew Gulch. I did some research on the trail and it looks like there are epic views, so I decided to take them up on it. One of the very cool things about living this lifestyle is you can change your plans on a dime, and I think it's good to be spontaneous occasionally. Some of my most memorable trips and adventures have come out of spontaneity, so yeah, I'm going to be spontaneous today and do this Jeep ride, and I think it's going to be amazing. But I better get ready to go. I believe they are waiting on me, so yeah, let's do it.
Before hitting the trail, we decided to make a stop at a little ghost town called Animas Forks. Animas Forks is a ghost town located 12 miles northeast of Silverton in San Juan County, Colorado. The town's first log cabin was built in 1873, and by 1876, the community had become a bustling mining community. At that time, the town contained 30 cabins, a hotel, a general store, a saloon, and a post office. In 1884, a 23-day blizzard inundated the town with 25 feet of snow. The residents had to dig tunnels to get from building to building. And now onto the Corkscrew Gulch Trail, which is appropriately named for its narrow and winding ascent to the summit of Red Mountain 2. This is much steeper and gnarlier than it appears. Trust me, I'm glad I was not behind the wheel.
Now that was so cool. I'm so glad I decided to go. I want to thank Dan for the invitation. It's something that I otherwise would not have been able to see, and it was incredible. I have really enjoyed my exploration of the town and the surrounding area of Silverton. I just love that these old towns with all this history still exist in some areas, and I hope that never changes. I really hope that they exist for a long time to come. It shows, our history, and I think it's just very cool. Not to mention that it is absolutely beautiful. I want to thank you all so much for coming along. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to the channel already, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you on board, and I will see you all on the next adventure. Thank you all for your support. See you soon. Bye-bye.